Hi, I'm Terry Murphy with the Data Advocate and Senior Editor for Realty Times, Women in Business, Women in Real Estate in the men's room with Murph. But today we have a dynamic woman, both in business and in real estate. Her name is Coni Meyers. She's definitely an overachiever, but in the 30, 40 plus years, I don't know, I'm going to keep it real vague. You came up with bepreparedbeready.org, and it is an amazing opportunity for us to understand about being prepared. I'm going to let you tell our viewers what that's about.
Okay. Thank you very much, Terry, for having me. Well, I used to say I was like a cat with 9 lives. I had 9 different careers. And in reality, it was training for what I'm doing with Be Prepared, Be Ready. I was a FEMA inspector and trainer for 7 years. I did over 50 disasters myself all over the world, as well as trained thousands of inspectors. And what I realized was the toll that a disaster takes on a family, particularly kids. And I always wanted to write a book. Well, I had the opportunity in 2019 when the California Association of Realtors sent out a list of courses they wanted. One of it was on disasters. And I said, nobody gets that but me. So I wrote a simple little course, little 3-hour course, presented at their big meeting. And then I did a panel in front of all the professional education people. And as I'm doing that, I'm realizing, oh my God, there's so much more that needs to be said. So I wrote a 5-hour certification course. And I was writing about pandemics in February of 2020.
Oh, we know what that's like.
Yeah. Anyway, I had CKM advisors going all around the country. There was about 40 of them that took the training during COVID. And I was giving them each month something new to take out that was dependent on the risk factors for their particular area. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. And they loved the course, they loved the training, but they didn't have the time. Part of it was because of COVID, but they didn't have the time, and all they had to do was forward the videos. That's all they had to do. So I was speaking at the National Natural Disaster Expo, and I got done speaking, and a woman walked up to me. She says, "You need to be a nonprofit." And I said, So we were at the very beginning of the expo. So at the booth, I was telling everybody we're filing for a 501c3. And Terry, the conversation completely changed.
Yep.
Instead of me trying to sell people something, they said, how can I be involved? And that's how bepreparedbeready.org came from. We're all about helping 30 million people be more sustainable and better prepared and ready when a disaster or a crisis strikes. And this stuff plays over into not just natural disasters or man-made disasters. It can affect all part of your life. So we are really out there to try and educate people. Well, FEMA has something called preparedness procrastination. And adults, it's just like kind of writing a will. Nobody wants to write a will because they have to think about dying.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with being prepared. And so after a few months of really trying to get people to be prepared, I sat back and I said, okay, what is one thing that we can all agree on? And the one thing we can all agree on is we want to protect our kids.
The problem with disasters is we hear about it in the news and we're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm going to pray for those people, or we send money. But then we never understand the consequences that go after that. And just think about a kid. Something happens, and this is not normal for them. This is a new thing. This is a new experience, and it has to be terrifying. And you've got the Kits for Kids, which I think is amazing. But you've also come into some other information.
Yeah, well, what we're trying to do, so I have a training called Journey to Sustainability Through the Power of Preparedness. People like to talk about sustainability, but they never talk about what's going to happen until we become fully sustainable, until we reach net zero carbon. And it's really important. We're seeing it. We're living it right now. The disasters, like this morning, there was a disaster, different kind of disaster in every part of the country. When I was doing FEMA, I used to come home and look on the Weather Channel and see where I was going to go next. Now, I could choose what part of the country I want to go to. That's how bad it is. And people don't realize that until we reach that climate change, and I know people don't, it's controversial to say the words climate change, but I have something I'll say about that in a second. But we have to do something to start mitigating and start preparing. And you're absolutely right. Kids, 50% of all children suffer from PTSD if they've been through any kind of major event. 50%. So do their parents, actually. But
Yeah, but it's when you're a kid, you don't have the resources and your maturity to figure it out.
No, and the parents are busy trying to figure out how they're going to get their life together, and they're not seeing what's happening with the kids. So I decided what I wanted to do is find a way to get the message to the adults through their children. And, kids are the best salespeople on the planet. It's a matter of, so we're going to use those kids as these little candles or these carrots out there in front of the parents. But at the same time, we're really going to provide protection for the kids. The kids fit in the bottom of an everyday backpack. They get Velcroed into the bottom. This goes everywhere the kid goes. It goes to school, it goes to the playground, it goes to activities. In it is a tracker that tracks where the kid is, as well as the parents can leave a message, stop the bleed bandages, and other types of safety items. 76% of parents are worried about their kids' fears, anxiety, depression, and the suicide has doubled. 67% of kids are worried about what's going to happen to their futures. And psychologists and psychiatrists all agree that the best way for kids to overcome all of that is by being activist. So we are going to create an army of kids, and we've got a really fun way of doing it. We're going to have a campaign called Kits for Kids Spokesperson Campaign. I have an adult, Leslie Rhoda Smith, the 2022 National President of National Association of Realtors, is my adult spokesperson. However, I want kids. And so we're going to do a campaign where they submit a 1-minute video in their local community of why they want to be the Kits for Kids spokesperson and why they, and then we'll have the local people that are working with us pick the ones, ages 6 to 22. But
Great.
now what do we have? We have an army of kids that have submitted these videos that we can use to help educate the adults.
Number one, you can use it to leverage social media because at the end of the day, it's nonprofit. It's not like you're trying to go to Jamaica on the money because you've had a heart like that, obviously, when you're with FEMA. So can people buy these kits?
Yes, they'll be available on our new website. We will have them up there. They can purchase them. They can sponsor schools or their churches or their Boys and Girls Club, or they can sponsor for the kids to get those. I can tell you, I did an event in California at a realtor association, and it was primarily Asians, and they were a little bit older. They were more like grandmas. I was literally mobbed because I brought like 20 of them with me. I was mobbed saying, I want those kits for my grandkids. So.
Oh, yeah. Grandparents are annoying. Oh, my God. Especially new ones. They're like,
oh, yeah.
50 pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. 12,000 pictures.
So just so we have it, it is the new website be prepared, be ready.
BeReady.org. Yes.
.org. Yeah. So what a great way to put your money where your mouth is. I mean, one of the schools here posted in the elevators, and obviously there's lots of people around me because I'm in Chicago. We're taking supplies for the schools. And it was magic because you're sitting there in an elevator and you're like, oh, so I mean, that's the kind of thing anybody can do to help you help others. And knowing where your kids are. I mean, some people would rather lose their kids than their phone. I get that, but the phone helps them find their kids. So such a good idea. Such a good idea.
Thank you. I'm so passionate about this, and the reception has been phenomenal with the people that I've showed these to.
I've seen you in action. Yes, you are not safe around Connie Meyers. So, but you've got a nuance to this.
Oh, I do. So, in 2022, in August, Biden signed a act called the Inflation Reduction Act, and in it are cash rebates as well as tax credits that you can get by creating a high performance home. And there's different levels of it. But these are cash rebates that you can get in some instances 100% against like a water heater or a stove or new insulation. And it's incredibly, you can multiply them. You can get some tax credits as well as the cash rebates. So I have included in my book, When the Unthinkable Happens, Be Prepared, Be Ready, all of the the cash rebates and the tax credits and what the limits are and how you can apply for them. And then there's a wonderful website. You can go on and put your home address in, and you have to put your income in, and it'll tell you what credits you qualify for and narrow it down for you. So it's that's all in my book. The website is greendoor.org. greendoor.com, I believe it is, greendoor.com. And then you go on and find out. But my goal is to educate realtors and other business people about these so then they can take them out to their communities and educate their communities. This is going to go on until some of them go on until 2032, some of them 2033. So we've got time. But you want to take advantage of this. It'll increase your home. And some people are saying it could increase the value of your home as much as 20-30%.
And are you talking about improvements to the home, or
Yes.
because at first I thought it was like almost an insurance, if something went wrong.
No, it's actually, so you go in. So let's say, like, I just got a water heater. Unfortunately, I didn't know about this. If I'd have known about it, I would have gotten the heat pump water heater. I didn't know there was such a thing until I started looking into this. But you can get cash for buying that water heater. So I think the value is like $900, something like that for the rebate. You can apply for that rebate to apply against the cost.
Oh, nice.
And things like insulation, windows, you can get your front and back door replaced. I mean, there's all kinds of amazing credits and things. And we're going to have information about that on the website when it comes out.
Because I was just going to say, people don't know it's available because stuff that comes out of Congress, is it in, is it out? What's the catch, whatever. So if you really want the real scoop, go to bepreparedbeready.org.
That's right. And if you would like me to come and speak about it, reach out to me, because
that was my next thing.
Year.
So Coni is fabulous on a platform. You just have to let her stand up because she's not real big. And we're the fun size group, right? But at the end of the day, having all this female experience, having all of this experience that you've had with the book and being in a natural disaster, we can all talk about it, but it's on the news for a day or two and then it's gone, and we can help. And, this is all about what Women's Wisdom Network's all about, women helping women. I want to feature you on the Women's Wisdom Network, especially through Realty Times and the Data Advocate. Getting some of the actual statistics on this would be so helpful because it's about creating awareness. So if you want Coni to speak, if you're looking to have her take her courses, what's the best way to reach you, Coni?
Coni Meyers at bepreparedbeready.org, or I'm on all the social media. And anybody that wants to help me in your communities with the Kits for Kids, I can promise you'll become a community leader and you'll stand out, and it'll help the sustainability of your business as well.
There you go. And it's Coni Meyers.
Yes. Meyers. Yes.
Meyers. Coni, we interviewed you several months ago, and you just keep on keeping on. You know that, right? And
thank you.
I personally want to help share this message because you're right. Kids are kids, and they need leadership, and nothing's better than community leadership and parental leadership and just good citizen leadership. So thank you so much. Join us again.
I want to acknowledge you, Terry. So thank you for being a part of my advisory council.
Oh yes, tell us about the advisory council before we close.
I am the most blessed woman on the planet. I have amazing people that have stepped up and said, yes, how can I help? What can I offer? And Terry is one of them. So I appreciate it very much. We have incredible people. I mean, I have the largest law firm for estate planning, business planning, the owner of the managing partner of that in the world. He's on
there you go. In the world, by the way, not like,
Yeah, in the world. I like Leslie Rhoda Smith, 2022 national president.
Oh, Tammy Bunnell.
Tammy Bunnell. Oh, and Ginger Wilcox has now said she wants to be involved.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is like the in-girls club ever. And I'm just going to say, if you have anybody of influence that can help spread this word, you're going to go right to heaven, I've been told. So I hope, Coni, we're going to keep track of you. And again, go to bepreparedbeready.org. Go to Coni Meyers, ConiMeyers, to get some more information. Do something today that's going to change your tomorrow. Thanks very much for joining us, Coni. And join us for another segment on the Data Advocate, Realty Times, Women in Business, and the Women's Wisdom Network. Thanks for joining us.